Sorry about that, everyone. Right, I'm back now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to WLR's Season 1 of Tier 3 today. We're out here in Round 8 of Singapore. So our third night race of the season at the moment in our qualifying session. And as it's going at the moment, we have Yeet topping the leaderboards at the moment by near on 7/10 of a second to Lamone, then Holman, and then Mick, who I'm not sure is putting a natural lap in line again. Yeah, they are. And then apart from that, no one else has set a lap, and it's popping up with their EAIDs, but that would be Mr. Johnson in this Red Bull here. So Matthew is Mr. Johnson, I think, and we will have PT in here later as well. So at the moment, let's just try and find who's going on to a lap next. And that was the King of All finishing the lap. Did you know whoever sets the fast? Wow, thanks for that accurate information there, Hyper. That Will Buxton sort of stuff. Whoever finishes the highest starts first. So, didn't know that. It's great to now know that, as we will now go on board with his area Red Bull on a lap as well. Wreckage goes first by 7/100ths of a second here, as we're going to see Mick go near on 9/10ths of a second faster than anyone else. That's a quality lap from the Red Bull there, as we're going to have to go on board with Samas here, although this is probably their banker runs at the moment. Pintiza has joined now. Where will Samas put it? Samas puts it P6 at the moment there, as Hassas is now in a wall. Bosan's retired. I'm not sure if there was a quali ban or what's going on there. So Hassas is now on a wall. The King of All's on an invalidated lap, so probably an in lap. Mr. Johnson is on an in lap. Sorry, an out lap. I'm calling Matthew so the audience know who I'm talking about here. And everyone else. So we're going to go on board with Mr. Johnson here. To see what they put, because he will be the only person to go on to a lap next. So as we see Wreckage, I believe probably in fuel mode at the moment here, not being able to get around the track too quick. And that will be quite a common occurrence here, as these cars will run minimum fuel to get round at the moment, and not even enough fuel to get back into the pit lane, as you want the car to be as light as possible at the moment. So as we're going to go on board with Matthew here to start their lap, as they're going to open up the DRS here. It's a very, very short DRS zone coming into a very hard braking point. You don't really have much high speed here. Told you it was going to be a disaster class from Hassas there. Yeah, you did say, to be fair, but I mean, there's always the race. There's only 11 people racing, so the chance of points is insane. As we're going to see Matthew here coming onto the back straight, the second DRS zone of the lap, should I say, ending off sector 1 here. What's the sector 1 going to be? It's a 27.4. Obviously, they haven't done a lap yet, so there will be no delta. I'm not sure what that is. I don't believe it is purple sector yet, so it's only an improvement on their own. For this tricky sequence of corners, that little right-left there, very awkward to get back on the traction. The old Singapore sling heads through there. New layout, it's quite easy to do it at this track now with that new layout. Under this little tunnel section into the very, very tight hairpin, very easy to lock brakes at the moment, as he's nailed it perfectly. Open up the DRS. We're going to be going around 180 miles an hour, I say, yeah, down into another very tight braking zone. Now this is the new bit of the track that they added. You used to have to go right, left, and then left, right again here. It's now just a new straight, which is very nice. Not a DRS zone though. It's only just a little straight. Back into another nice hard braking here. A little like mini chicane at the moment. You've got to be careful to not hit the wall into this very, very fast final corner. Bump the curb slightly, come across the line. Let's see what this lap's going to be. It's down up for P5 at the moment. 1.6 off Mick's lap, which was an excellent lap to put themselves that high up. The next person to be coming across the line, I don't think Samas is on the lap. Oh, went into neutral. I'm not sure if they spun themselves there or just went into neutral and spun it like that. That's a very odd thing. We never really see things like that. But we're going to go on board with Yeet here, who's 800ths up, coming underneath this little mini bridge section. through this little tight hairpin to open up the DRS on this last DRS straight we have of the lap at the moment here. We're going to be entering sector 3 now, and that's a purple sector 3 from, sorry, sector 2, I can't get my words out, from Yeet there. Heading on to this little new section of the track, the straight. There's going to be like all like cars on their out laps at the moment here that Yeet's going to have to get through, but gets through them perfectly fine. Rounding off the end of that lap at the moment here. Didn't really use much runoff. Gonna come across the line now. Let's see where Yeet can put this. What's it gonna be? Yeet puts it only up for P2 only, but with a purple sector 3 as well. So Yeet has got the sessions best sector 2 and 3 here, but still couldn't improve for P1, as we've got word from Hassas, who just drove straight into a wall apparently, which is extremely unfortunate. But yeah, it's just Singapore and the barriers come at you so fast, so it's not surprising. Very difficult track, maybe one of the hardest on the calendar. As the next person to be on a lap will be Limon, I think, if I'm right. No, it won't be. So it will probably be the King of All here. The King of All is on a lap. We've got a very, very awkward camera view. I'm not sure what this is. Now it's back into the little broadcast bit. Rounding off sector 2. What's it going to be? A 105.339. Purple sector 2 at the moment there from the King of All. Let's see where this can go. This may be up for a pole time here. Well, provisional pole, sorry, should I say. Coming into this little right-left here and beginning to end the lap at the moment. It's such an awkward section because if you take too much curb, the car will bottom out and you will just spin straight into a barrier and lose your wheel. Coming across the line now, let's see where the King of All puts it. It's only for P3 only, 6.5 tenths off, which even with purple sector 2 was not enough. Next person coming across the line will be not Pintita. Pintita will be starting the lap. Must have messed up there, as this Wreckage has got purple sector 1. I've only been on zero traction for a month, still getting used to it. Yeah, it's very awkward this track to do, as we see Limon back out of the lap, I believe. Yeah, hard track to do it on. I mean, I would say I really struggle too much, but it's very easy to capture 7 pounds spin, especially on coming into the race on a harder compound of tyres. The next person to be on a lap will be not too sure. Wreckage, sorry. Literally on board with them now in a nice black Mercedes, gliding underneath the lights at Singapore here. Extremely hot climate. It's a purple sector 2 as well, so I think that's 2 purple sectors all round in the last sector now. We might be able to see a provisional pole lap at the moment here and beat Mick's golden lap that no one's been able to beat. Didn't really take too much of that little extra bit of runoff there. Coming across the line now, let's see if Wreckage can put this. It's P2 only by 0.04 of a second. That's literally virtually nothing. That's a very good lap from Wreckage. I'm sure they'll be very, very happy with themselves there with that. Limon, I believe, starting another lap here. As we're going to see Holman on an invalidated lap, but we're going to see Pintita coming in, who's 2.7 down. So I'm not sure what's going on with Pintita. Not using the ERS, probably coming in again, out of fuel by the looks of it. So not really judged that too well. As we see Mick only looking like they're going to be able to do 2 laps here. Just their banker, maybe their final lap, because they maybe seem like that's good enough for pole at the moment. Next person to come across the line will be Limon, who's got purple sector 2 and 6 tenths up on their delta, which will only be at the moment a massive 1 second off Mick at the moment. So they're going to need a mega final sector here. They've got no ERS in the tank, so they're going to be just losing even more time by the looks of it. But they're going to come across the line now, and it's only going to be P5 only. Still an improvement of 8 tenths on their lap. But the Alfa Romeo only stays in P5 at the moment as they're cutting corners by the looks of it to get back to the pit lane. I'm not sure if you can report that. You might be able to. It really depends. But we're going to see Machu on a lap here. Oh, their second hot lap, I believe. Getting very close to that wall here. We're going to go on board here and just look how tight this is. Take too much curve, see like Machu did, go close to the barrier, scrape it a little bit there. There's a big bump in real life there, not really on the game, but it can really, really damage the floor of the car as they just cut the track, pull the lap by the looks of it, go for the final lap, box, go for a new set of tyres. And now the next person to be on an out lap here will be Yeet, as we've got 12 people watching, which is a bit of a surprise, more than usual. So thank you for watching today here in Singapore. It'll be quite an interesting race. In real life, every single every single Grand Prix, there has been a safety car here, and this has been on the calendar since 2008. So always produces a very, very good race here, but also a good qualifying, especially at 2018 with Hamilton. A big surprise pole position. Will we see that again today? Maybe with Yeet here while we're on board. Going through the little turn 1, 2 and 3 there. Very, very awkward as there's a massive sausage curve on the outside there. Run a little bit wide. Not only will you invalidate your lap time, but you run wide and bottom out the car, maybe put in the barriers. Because the barriers are so close to the track here, any little mistake can lose it. More people watching than the drivers here. Yeah, that's true. We're going to see Yeet round off the sector 1 there. I believe it was just a personal improvement at the moment, as we're going to stay on board at the moment here. Through this little left kink, coming up towards the old Singapore sling that they used to have. If you're an old F1 fan, you know what I'm talking about. Completely removed as it was too dangerous, but they've still got this little section, the little left right there, coming under the little bridge section here, coming into the very tight hairpin, very easy to lock the tyres. Nails it perfectly, coming up full throttle here as early as you can, open up the DRS, and this is going to be coming up to the last, well, this is the last DRS zone of the track, ending the sector 2, and it's a purple sector from Yeet there, and it's 2.5 temps up. This is not going to be provisional pole yet, so he's going to need a very, very good final sector here to beat Mick's lap, as Mick is not out on the track yet, I don't think. Well, he is now, but 2 minutes remaining. It's going to be very, very close at the moment, but Yeet is going to be coming across the line now. Let's see where Yeet can put this. Can it be provisional pole for Yeet here? It's only P3 only. Yeet improved by 2.5 tenths of a second there, but it was only good enough for the second ride of the grid. He's going to be gutted with himself there, but it's good. It's a good lap there nonetheless, as the next person to be on the lap will be Samas at the moment here in sector 3, I believe. Coming near the final corner now. No, they're going to be starting the lap. I should have realised that. That's my fault. Extremely silly of me. The next person to be starting the lap will be Holman though, after Samas. So Holman will be starting the lap now. Let's see what Holman will be able to do, as we should probably go on board with Samas here, who's got a lot of marbles on the tyres. As we know, it's an absolute pain on this game with marbles. And they will just lose you so much time if you have too many of them on your tyres. As we see Samas go wide, almost hit that little tech barrier that they have there, just to make sure the drivers don't hurt themselves, as backs out the lap, and that's the lap pretty much over. So the next person to be on a lap will be Holman, and oh, did Holman just get impeded there? I believe Holman did. He touched the barrier. That's Holman gutted and not being able to set a proper lap time, I do not think. So that's his final lap over. Next person to be on the lap will be Pintita. Sorry. So Pintita will be on the lap here, but no, Pintita has not turned on the ERS again. So is that a mistake, or I'm not sure, because he isn't going to be able to get round for another lap at the moment. As there's a bit, wait, is there a pile up here? Whoa, what has happened here? We have just seen an Alfa Romeo in the barriers. That is Lamone in the barriers, not even on an actual lap. So Lamone's qualifying session's over on an out lap. So that's him either being put in the barriers or put themselves into a barriers, and that's a lost front wing. They're not going to be able to get on a lap again here. So that's Lamone's qualifying over. So that's one better position for Yeet there, and one less person to worry about. So the next person to be on a lap will probably be Holman, but as we know, Holman did get impeded, and Holman is down on the delta, presumably. As that's qualifying over now, so the checkered flag is out. Pintita's going to be coming across the line now, and going to be P6 only with no ERS. What a lap from Pintita at the moment there. The next person to be coming across the line will be, let's have a little look through, Lamone, who didn't have a front wing. The next person will probably be the King of All. The King of All is 9 temps up. This could be a pole lap at the moment here from the King of All. Let's see what the King of All could do. They run wide and invalidate the final corner. No, no, no. A 29.6, that would have been pole position. If they did not run wide at the final corner, that would have been pole position. That's so unlucky. As Mick comes across the line now, and it's a 29.7 from Mick there. Mick has gone for provisional pole at the moment here. Matthew comes across the line now. Matthew goes P7 only. Next person to be coming across the line now will be Wreckage. Wreckage is on a valid lap, comes across the line, and it's only P2 only, I believe, for Wreckage at the moment. Oh, the king of all, absolutely gutted. Was going to beat Mick's lap, I believe, but invalidated last corner and ran a little. Here's the grid order now, an exciting qualifying session, like I just said. And this is the grid now. So on pole position, maybe not a surprise, but Mick, a very insane driver, dominating this tier. Mick in the Red Bull in P1, followed by Wreckage, followed by Yeet, the king of all, who just about missed out on pole there. Limone, Pintita, Machu, Holman, Samas, Hassas, Bosan rounds off the grid. That was a very exciting qualifying session. Let's see what the race can bring. Maybe rain. If we see rain, that very spices it up. But we're going to have to see an interesting race. Hassas and Bosan fighting from the back after no laps. King of all, knowing they've got the pace to get the win here. And Mick, knowing they've got the pace to get the win. You can't predict this. You'll never really know who wins it. Let's just see what the strategy brings. It is a dry. So as we're looking over the pit lane now, and briefly to the right, you can see a few cars on the grid. It's a bit awkward here, but we've got a nice view of the Red Bull front wing there and all these garages along. Dry race. Not sure if it gets wetter towards the end of the race. It may be wet. We're not sure. Hopefully it is. Spices it up. Very great for entertainment purposes. I'm sure the drivers